The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. History out there, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Seminole Nation radio program. I'm your host today, Bo WHITEKILLER. I'm joined with Dennis on the engineer board here at KWSH Studios, and also Chief Greg CHILCOAT, who's come by to share some information with us today. Good morning, Chief. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Bo.
All right.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to join you on the radio station.
Another wonderful, beautiful day as we're sitting back and getting ready for this weather to come in this evening, I'm sure. We'll enjoy the rest of the day. We've got some information we want to share with you. Got a couple shout outs to share with you too as well, and then we'll touch on some things that was come of interest here recently and brought to our attention at the communications department. Again, this radio program is brought to you by the KWSH Studios, 97.7 and 1260 on your AM. The legendary KWSH Studios, I like saying that. But today, as with anything, we always like to remember those who've lost loved ones. We did have a representative, Anthony Connolly Jr., lose a son recently, and also we'd like to lift up the Selena Alexander families at High Spring Church over there, lifting them up as they've lost loved ones. Happy birthday today to Council Representative Regina Burgess and former Miss Seminole Summer Foster, both turned 16 today. We also want to wish the Weekenders that's coming up a happy birthday too. That'd be Skip Foster, Rachel Harjo, Jessica Harjo, Sterling Tanyan, Luann B. Bear, Chotty Jesse, Rocky Cully, and a happy anniversary to Joe and Juliet Hopper. So if you have any upcoming birthdays or anniversaries, anything I've mentioned, please email us at seminolemedia@gmail.com. That's seminolemedia@gmail.com. Or send us a message on our social media Facebook page, which is the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, and we'll get it on air as soon as we can. Some news of late: we've got the Seminole High School will honor the 2020 high school seniors with a graduation procession through downtown May 19th. This does not take the place of an in-person graduation ceremony, states Seminole High School Principal Wade Rigney. The graduation procession will take place at 6 p.m. on the 19th. All seniors will line up in vehicles and begin the procession near the intersection of Main Street and Strother Avenue and ending at the football stadium. For specific information, please check the Seminole High School social media page, Facebook page. It's the April 26th post that has the specific information. So again, this will be the Seminole High School procession through downtown Seminole. If any of your high schools or schools have any type of activity such as that, please hit us up and we'll get that information out as well. Things will be changing around in the area, especially with this COVID-19. Again, the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma continues to operate with the COVID-19 Operational Program Services Directory posted on the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma Facebook page. For specific information, please check the notes section of that page, and you'll have specific information for that program. You have the Old American Program, Social Services, Domestic Violence, Community Health Representative, Diabetes and Dialysis Transport, Transit, the Law Enforcement, the Food Distribution, Nutritional Services, along with the BCR Commission, the TAG Agency, which are now being manned and can help you out. Also, our main tribal switchboard at 405-257-7200 has specific information should you need service or program. One of the things we took off the news today was that the White House has reestablished a council on Native American affairs to support continued interagency coordination with Indian country. Today, the White House, in conjunction with the U.S. Secretary of Interior David L. Bernhardt, reestablished the White House Council on Native American Affairs under the Executive Order 13647. The White House Council on Native American Affairs will continue the important interagency coordination of the Indian Country COVID-19 response team assembled by the White House in early March. In addition to leading COVID-19 interagency response coordination with Indian Country, the Council will help drive the administration policy priorities supporting the Indian Country, including economic development and rural prosperity, energy development, infrastructure, public health, cultural resources, public safety, veterans affairs, and education and workforce development. Starting Monday, May 4th, Mr. Tyler Fish, a Cherokee citizen, will be detailed to the position of Executive Director of the Council. In this position, Mr. Fish will continue to coordinate interagency collaboration in policy matters important to Indian Country, and will serve as a key liaison to Indian Country for the administration, formalizing and elevating the work. Tyler has been working as a tribal liaison in the White House Office of Intergovernmental Affairs since July 2019. The Council is chaired by the Secretary of Interior and includes major executive agencies and senior White House leadership. The Council was established to provide coordination of federal programs and use of resources available to tribal communities. With that being said, a lot of these coordinations and a lot of the information that's being pushed down, it sounds like that, Chief, that this might be something that would be more focused to getting that information out and specific information to tribal entities. Now that we have a liaison up there working.
Oh, most definitely. I think that having an individual that represents Native American or Indian Country in that capacity is always a good thing. To relay that information and to have somebody that we can communicate with directly, and that we would more in line feel comfortable with in communicating. I think that's a positive thing.
Have you heard of Mr. Fish?
No, I have not.
When I first read this and I looked at it, I tried to do a little quick background and see where he's come from. But he has an extensive knowledge in affairs. That's a legal background as an attorney. So I think we'll definitely have a voice talking to us from that people. As we move forward, we'll kind of segue into our next segment here. As we move forward, what are some challenges that you're seeing as a leader for the Seminole Nation? I mean, what are some of the things that is happening? I know yesterday we had a directors meeting. We had all the directors and programs and services there. And it was just to establish communication from the ground up to get you that information. What are some things that you're seeing at your level that's causing you to refocus or to focus on as we move forward during this outbreak?
Well, when we've had since this outbreak, I mean, it's challenged us in many different ways, because we have to have this social distancing, and of course it has closed the nation down as such, as far as our normal day-to-day operations. It's challenged us that way, and how we focus our thoughts on how we work within the nation. And so in doing that, we've had to evaluate how we handle things. But the one thing that I think that's challenged us, that we have met the challenge, is that it's brought us together closer as far as how we operate and our communication within our operations, if that makes any sense, because it definitely has. We have brought our emergency response team together, and they come together Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and discuss measures going on within the outreach of the nation and within the internal operations of the nation. And we discuss those matters and try to relay how we're going to handle those things. And I think collectively as a group doing that, that's been one of our challenges, and I think we have met that challenge by doing that. And it's kept us moving forward in a positive direction with all the different things that are coming at us from the federal world. The federal agencies have been trying to themselves communicate and meet this demand head on, and in doing that, they're under a lot of pressure as well. And so trying to be open to understanding what they're trying to do, how they're trying to help the tribal governments, and not only that, but their communities as well, all around us, because it affects not just us, but it affects everybody. But that has created a challenge, and the meeting that we had yesterday, as far as the leaders, the directors, and coming together, it's allowed us to have a a better opportunity to come together, to have a better understanding where they're at within how they operate during this timeline to serve the community and serve their people. I think it's been a tremendous opportunity, and that's been one of the challenges. But I feel that we have we're on point with it. I think we have a lot more still to go. I know that we have a council meeting that's supposed to be coming up in June, and that's something that's on our mind as to how we need to look at addressing that. And if we're still in this frame of mind right now, as far as how we're operating, we have to try to see what steps that we can take to bring that about.
All right. One of the things that was talked about yesterday was the technological piece of how we can use that to our advantage to get that messaging across and hold a council meeting. How would that come about? And so those things like that, we're looking at not necessarily failing at the attempt, but learning from the and being successful from it. So with everything that goes on in the nation, this is all new, and there are things that's going to happen that you don't anticipate, but you should be flexible enough to adapt and overcome.
Yes, and you're exactly right on that, Bo. We do have to have the flexibility and the adaptability to be able to do those things. This IT part that you mentioned is that's a part of what we're trying to look at to see how we can possibly make that work. Just not for now, but for future use. It allows us all to develop and to become a little bit more knowledgeable about certain things so that we can adapt and address any other problems we might have in the near future. And we have to try to be somewhat prepared for that.
As the Seminole Nation takes precautions during this time, what are some things culturally or historically relevant from the past that you see are being manifested today to help us through this problem, through this situation? What are some things culturally that Seminole Nation as a people are using to go through this problem? What are some of the greatest strengths, I guess you could say, with our culture?
I think that one of the I'm going to use this as a cultural aspect, I guess, is that just being unified, just staying unified during this time. I mean, we are in this together. And we're trying to look at this as a whole for the nation, and then coming together. It's just like our distribution, our food distribution, in regards to that being done. How the members that assisted at that particular time, how they came together as a nation to assist with something that was greater than themselves. And I'm very thankful for them, and I know the nation would be very thankful for them. But I think that we need to understand that what we're trying to do culturally here is to state about unity, about that we're together on this moving forward. Hope that was helpful.
No, actually, no, that's good. I mean, anything else you can? One of the things that was that come to my mind was how we're having to change our traditional funerals. Normally they would be inside, they would be taking place inside, but now we're starting to see that they're more outside, and some of the situations that we have and we hold to our burials, I guess those things customs are having to change. So
I agree.
We're very adept to making it work.
Yeah, it definitely does. I agree with you on that too as well, Bo. I mean, it does. This has, that social distancing and 10 people and all those different variables, play changing our customs that we're usually used to during funerals. Yes, that would be a major one. It's affected a lot of things.
How about the education standpoint? What kind of education changes have we made within the nation? What are some things that's been added, or some personnel that's been added to our future outlook on education as we move forward, because our school children are being affected, and our college students?
It's some of the things that we've discussed in regards to like this. Schools shut down. we've talked about, you know, our technological stuff, our Wi-Fi's setting up, you know, those type of things. How can we help our young students during this time? How can we, this is something that's been discussed, how can we help them continue their education? How can we give them opportunities to learn from this equipment? What products can we give to them to help them continue their growth that way? Yes, that has been some of the things that we've discussed in our meetings, is that how we can do an outreach to be able to help, because we know that there are students that don't have Wi-Fi, they don't have the technological setups to be able to help them with their education. We have looked at opportunities like that.
And on these discussions, I really want it to be clear and kind of put out there too that a lot of these decisions that are being made, you have a lot of different minds coming to assist you. You know,
yes.
You know, it's not all Chief Greg Chilcoat's decision making. These are people at the top of their game and what they're doing in their positions to assist you, and that's the good thing about it.
No, it's a great thing. I mean, this is a great thing when we have people that come together and they share their ideas, to be able to give their thoughts the best opportunity to help the nation move forward. And these individuals are coming together, and we're all sharing ideas and trying to work out what is the best way to help. And I think, like you said, like you mentioned about the youth and their education, there has been a discussion about how we can address that with all the changes that are happening through the funding agencies. How can we implement the opportunities for those youth to be able to have those opportunities? And we want to give them that.
Tell us a little bit about that dynamic that you have with each individual department or service. How does that? How do they inform you with these meetings? Tell us a little bit, the listeners, a little bit about these meetings that you've been having, how they've been working.
Well, no, they've been working out very well. We have about I'd say about 8 that are involved with our discussions from different programs. Different individuals from within the complex. We've been talking about some of our essential positions, such as CHR, diabetes, OAP, social services. Those have been major discussions on how to still keep those programs functioning. Budgets, because of things that have been changing through the funding agencies, through the federal world. We have had to look at how we're going to address those things imminent, because there's things that are currently changing really fast, and every day something new is changing.
Absolutely. And
so we have to adapt to those, and that's what we're trying to do to benefit the Seminole Nation. But staffing, looking at the big picture as far as the federal world, the state world, the tribal world, of how we're trying to make decisions on discussing how long we stay closed, when do we make that decision about opening up, how long do we keep gaming down. You know, all those things are discussions that we've been having, and we're trying to look at all the variables, how we work out, like I said, staffing, how we work out those positions, how are they holding up, you know, because we're only working really essential people right now at this current time. Just their scheduling, you know, their staff, their staggering of staff. It's just, there's a lot of things that are being discussed and of concern. So,
how are you holding up?
Oh, I'm holding up just fine.
Are you
Yes, just fine. Yes, just trying to this is a strange time.
Yeah.
This is a strange time in many different things, because
For everyone.
yes, before the coronavirus struck us, there were so many things that I felt really, really comfortable with in where we stood financially within the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, whether it be through the complex or whether it be through our gaming enterprise, our casinos. That's one of the things I'm thankful for, because we were so balanced at that point when this come along, is the reason why we've been able to hold on as long as we've been able to hold on.
Balance physically.
Yes, without having to look at certain things that I don't want to look at, such as furlough or layoff. And we've been able to balance and hold tight to that. And I feel very good about that for the people and for the nation, because that's some of the things that we've discussed as well. We've been very blessed to be able to hold on as long as we have.
And now, as we recover and look at some of the assistance as we move forward, it'll be even more so to be fiscally responsible in that sense too, with the CARES Act. Just recently seen the injunction against the Alaska corporations that the lower 48 wanted. If you need more information on that, we'll post it to our social media site. But today, as a matter of fact, I think some of the information is going to be passed out to the media concerning that.
Yeah, I think that was a good decision in regards to that too. I think that the statute was written to cover tribal governments in regards to the lower 48.
Yes.
And I think that, yes, we have to be moving forward once we receive whatever that is, and I don't know what that is. It's still a little clear on the language within the statute, how that's supposed to be manifested, or how it comes to us and what we're supposed to do with it, within those parameters. It's really unclear, but we have to be very responsible with that, and take care of it and use it in a productive way.
And the one thing takeaway from that is that United for Oklahoma, everybody is pretty much united together, and there's no change at that point.
No, overall, in regards to those matters, yes, we are united for Oklahoma. We're united for. Understand, we say united for Oklahoma, in which we are that, but we're united across Indian country. Mm-hmm. We're united across the state of Oklahoma as far as the tribal members, tribal nations. Mm-hmm. We are definitely united that way. We're here, in representation of Seminole Nation. You and I both represent the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, but we also represent Indian country too.
Absolutely.
And we have to be a good representatives in that aspect. And in regards to the current situation, we are united. Our front is united, because it is, to me, about Indian country and about what we understand.
Looking forward, and as we know, at some point we'll have a slowdown and things will come back to normal somewhat, maybe a new normal is what they say. What are some thoughts about the Seminole Nation Days Festival? What are some things that we've recently got a question about? Is that going to be coming up? Is that something we look forward to? Is that going to happen? And our answer was yes, it's going to happen. We just don't know when or if that's something, but normally September time frame.
Yes, I think as of right now that's still, a go. That has not been something that has been brought forth just yet as far as discussion. Right. I'm in hopes that that this will have subsided, this coronavirus, and that we're able to move forward. I'm sure that through this challenge, that it's going to change some of the things in which and how we operate. I think it should, in a positive way. I think we learn from any adversity that we go through, and I think that's as well today. And but as far as the Seminole Nation Days, yes, it is something that we always look forward to. I think it's great for the community. It's great for the Seminole Nation, for the people to get out and communicate and fellowship and be around each other and enjoy those festivities. And I would like, I would be saddened if for some reason that we were not able to have that, but we're a go with that right now.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. A couple things. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do when you're away from all this, Chief? What is something that you like to do when you're away from all this? There's no COVID-19. There's no.
Well, if you're going to get into
I got a dollar bet. I don't know what you're going to say, but
well,
what's something out there the listeners don't know that you like to do, and that you,
if people really, I mean,
they really want to see you.
If they understand what I really like to do, and would like to do it on a continual basis, I like to fish. I would fish all the time. I really enjoy doing that. That's really something I grew up doing, and I love to do it. Any kind of fishing, it's relevant, And another thing too that I love to do, and I'm not able to do it anymore either, is I love to seine for crawdads.
Really?
Yes, I love to seine for crawdads. Now, the one thing that I have not been able to get enough nerve to do is noodle. I don't have the nerve capabilities to be able to do that. But as far as seining for crawdads, any kind of fishing, I'll do that any given day.
About this age, Chief, the only noodles we need is ramen noodles right now. That's it. That's the only noodles right now.
That's the safest kind.
The
safest kind. I agree with you on that.
Noodles.
It won't bite back.
What's the biggest fish you ever caught, Chief? This is a good one.
Oh, mercy. Hold on. I'll go with the biggest bass. The biggest bass I've caught's been a 7-pound black bass. The biggest catfish, I'd say it's been about 15 pounds for the catfish.
What kind of bait?
Oh, stink bait.
All right.
Yeah, for catfish was stink bait. The bass was a plastic worm. Gary Yamamoto. Let's see. Crappie fishing. Love to crappie fish. It doesn't matter the weather. It doesn't matter if it's raining, cold, or anything. I'll go and do it.
Best place to fish?
I know this. I've only done it for one style of fishing. That's crappie fishing. I like Lake Eufaula.
Okay.
I like Lake Eufaula.
All right. So Martha, you and your folks down there, we'll get Chief to get you a pan full of fish, and you can hand them out.
All right.
All right. With that, Chief, got any final words? Got any final thoughts?
No.
Yours.
I really want to thank you, Bo. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your information. Thank you for getting all that information out to the people. I want to thank Dennis for allowing me to have an opportunity to come here to KWSH and to have a moment to be able to sit down and discuss some things that that we're looking at for the nation. And also, I know that you had made a comment about individuals who have lost loved ones or might be ill at this time. Prayers to you and your families. Blessings to everybody out there. And please be safe during this time. I know it's a dangerous time for us all, for this coronavirus. But please take those precautions necessary to be able to keep yourself safe. Mado.
All right. Thank you, Chief. And as you're doing your census this week and you don't have time, remember Seminole Nation, tribal affiliation. Seminole Nation specifically targets us as Seminole Nation here in Seminole County. So with that, with another edition of the Seminole Nation radio program, your host, Bo Whitekiller, Dennis on the board. Muddo.